Hello all you happy people, welcome back. We have left Trout Lake. The weather is beautiful. We met my parents in Trout Lake, which was amazing. We got to do all our resupplies, catch up, relax, just had a lovely time. And even more exciting, I've got no bag on. So Nikki, or Bambi, and I are slack packing the next 25 plus miles. We're meeting my parents later on today, so we've literally just got a day bag, which Bambi has, and just got food and water in it, and it's great. We've got proper sandwiches that we packed out from a supermarket rather than having crappy noodly stuff, so we got really good food today. The only downside is Washington is doing what Washington does best, and raining. We missed a horrific thunderstorm while we were in town. Hail, heavy rain, thunder, lightning, really awful. Thankfully we were inside for it. Now we're just hiking in the drizzle, so really enjoying my light-hearted gear waterproof. And my parents brought out my waterproof trousers, so it's the first time I've been in those on trail, which is lovely. So I'm warm, I'm dry, life's good, no bag, gonna enjoy Washington now. We are just plodding our way through this delightful burn zone. We're in a cloud. It is drizzling and damp. My shoes are wet. It's not cold though, but we are getting a lovely pace without bags, so there's always that. I don't expect the camera's picking this up, but up there we have Mount Adams, and we can vaguely see it is snow covered. I think we are standing in some kind of flash flood boulder field area, so that's always nice in the rain, but I would imagine if we didn't have this cloud that would be a fantastic view. Well, that sucks. On with hiking. So the best thing about having stormy weather is river crossings. I mean, this is sketchy as fuck. I mean, that's gonna be fun. It is still drizzling, but the cloud is clearing, which means we can actually see stuff. And there, in its glory, is some of Mount Adams, and you can see where there's actually been fresh snow overnight, which is worrying. But again, on a clear day with blue skies, I bet that's stunning. It is still raining. We've done 25 miles or so. Just met up with my parents again, got our bags back. Oh, got water on that. There we go. Got our bags back. I've swapped out my waterproof for a Rab one that is slightly heavier but warmer. Now, bed. I hope it stops raining. Better tomorrow. Morning. We had a lie-in this morning. Alarm for 6 rather than 5:30. This is because the rain. So yesterday when we picked up our bags from my parents, we only really went like a mile, a bit under a mile from there, and it was raining. But in the time it took to walk from there to getting our tent fully set up, everything was wet. Like the inside of the tent was damp, sleeping bags wet. It took ages to get warm. We had probably the best supper we've had on trail, because my parents so kindly slack packed our bags. We could afford to have heavy food rather than having to carry it. So we both had ravioli with pasta sauce, which was amazing. Probably like well over 1,600 calories for each of us, which was amazing. But the whole thing just made me think how really grateful I am to my parents for coming out and supporting us, and just all the support we've had from them with this through hike. It definitely wouldn't be possible without them, or at least it would have been so much harder. So they've been amazing. So I know they watch this video, so thank you so much. It makes life so much easier, so much happier, so thank you. Everything's packed away. It's not raining now. It is still damp and dreary. We've had a weather report which looks like cloud and drizzle all day, so I kind of want some sun to try and dry everything out, but we'll take it as it comes. Otherwise, I think today we are climbing up to Sispus Pass, which should mean some pretty awesome views, which I've been really looking forward to. So far, Washington has been mildly disappointing with the views, but this is meant to be good. Goat rocks and all that, so bring it on. The views are not what we wanted, but at least it's not raining, despite Bambi being in full waterproofing gloves, whereas I am in t-shirt. Pathetic. Finally, for the first time in days, we get a view, and it's beautiful. Not just walking through the trees, you can see Walpus Lake, we can see a shit ton of forest, but we're out of the clouds, out of the rain, there's even patches of blue sky. Life is good. There is what I think is part of Goat Rocks. We're in Goat Rocks Wilderness. We're back in waterproofs because the rain's back, which sucks. We've got like a devil's post pile of basalt columns. I think it's basalt, but looks quite cool. Views are still epic. We've just had quite a fun uphill climb up to the very top of Sispus Pass. I mean, there's still plenty of climbing later on to do today, but the views from here are theoretically amazing. But I got my head in the clouds. There is a beautiful rainbow hiding in the clouds. I mean, it's not hugely visible, but I know it's there. This is the barren landscape of Goat Rocks. We're on the side of a mountain called Old Snowy, and it's September and we're crossing a bloody snowfield. We are on this ridgeline. It's about 6,000 foot in the air, and the storm is hitting us nicely. This rain is beautiful. We got big drop there, And I don't even know what's down there. This is cold and this is beautiful. Good morning. We camped just at the end of the ridgeline at Goat Rocks, which is meant to be some of the most phenomenal views in Washington. We saw nothing, so the last 10 miles yesterday was horrific rain, clouds, it was freezing cold, we saw nothing. The last 10 miles have been some of the least pleasant hiking on trail so far. The views this morning, it's clearing slightly. The views behind us are not bad, but the ridge line is still hiding. Everything is wet, sleeping bags are wet, tent is wet, we're cold. We've got 15 miles now to get to White's Pass and the Crackerjack, and hopefully the sun will come out and things will dry, but I'm not optimistic. I'm cold, I'm wet, life's less fun. Hopefully things will dry out and things will improve, but it's not very nice today. This is what we missed yesterday, walking through the rain. These phenomenal views of the Goat Rocks. I mean, I'm really sad we missed this. The weather is clearing. We've just climbed a big old hill and we have our first view, or first real view, of Mount Rainier, which is beautiful, peeking out from behind the clouds. After all the wet weather, we have everything hanging up to dry and just having a little snack break, and hopefully life will be happier soon. We still got our head in the clouds, but there's still some views to be had. Still hearing lots of elk around. I don't know if you can hear this, but we're walking along, we can hear like a dog or maybe even a wolf howling in the background, which is quite cool. We've heard a lot of elk over the last few days and seen elk hunters with bows, but this definitely sounds like cool and dog-like and wolf-like. I gather there are actually wolves in the Cascades somewhere. I don't actually know how close they are to trail though, but it's a cool noise. This is the Mike Ulrich hut, which hikers can stay in and shelter from bad weather and so on. And I think at weekends it's usually very busy, but it's Friday, so I think it's pretty empty. We're not staying here tonight, we're carrying on a bit further, just want to check it out. And most importantly, hidden in the woods behind there is a pit toilet, so I can actually go to the loo. But it's a nice cabin, someone's put some real work into making that. And inside, there is wood-burning stove, lots of places to hang stuff and dry stuff, a cooler with PCT written on it. This is very nice. I like it. This is Sheep Lake. We are about 2 and a bit miles from where we're going to camp tonight, so we just had to stop and fill up and admire just how beautiful this is. Weekends, I think this is absolutely rammed with day hikers, but today's Thursday, so I can just see like one little encampment, but it's very pretty. We are at the top of Sourdough Gap, and you can see the view up here is beautiful. The wind's quite strong, but once we go through the gap, we got even more awesome views. Like, Washington is starting to redeem itself now. Good morning. It is another cold morning up in the Cascades. We slept on a nice little ridge and then we had some rain, and we thought we saw some lightning strikes during the night, but we were in the tent so couldn't really see. But it rained. Not raining anymore, which is nice, but definitely cold. We've woken up with our head firmly in the clouds, and I tripped over. It's very pretty around here, but these clouds are ominous. We got a weather report last night that indicated it probably won't rain today, but nothing's certain in life. We got 26 essentially miles done yesterday. My ankle where I had the bee stings or wasp stings a few days ago, nicely puffy, which is always appreciated. Otherwise, all good here. We're now 333 miles from the end, so keep on trucking. Clouds over the mountains are beautiful this morning.
Marker.
2,300 miles. There is a wasp's nest at the base of that tree. Bambi is climbing round it. I wasn't fully aware of it. And I got 2 stings on the calf. Little buzzy bastards. All good there? We are at our campsite for the night. This is Pipe Lake. We've come 23 miles, but we had to stop at the Cracker Barrel at White's Pass to do our resupply. So we had posted ourselves parcels and we stopped there, ate some trashy service station food, did our resupply, and now we're setting up our tent by a stunning lake, and the best part is we've got a blue sky above us. No rain. Good morning. We got blue skies. We got beautiful lakes. Gonna get some miles in today, hopefully. Mount Rainier is absolutely breathtaking. That is huge. I think it's one of the biggest in the US, after Whitney and so on. But that's stunning, that's beautiful. It's really nice to be up above all the trees for once, not walking in the forest. It's some nice views. Found ourselves a little friend. And 2 more little stripy snakes, although one's actually quite nice and big. Morning. So we camped by a lovely little spring. We've got a nice little view over there. Bambi's just filtering water for the morning. We've got 12 miles essentially to the next water source, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue because it's quite cold, and we don't drink much water when it's cold. We are officially 300 miles from the Canadian border. Time is marching on. It's getting colder in the mornings. It drizzled slightly during the night, but nothing substantial. Weather report says that we might get some more in the next day, which would be lovely. Last night was really nice. When we were a couple of miles from camp, we met a really nice guy who was out doing some trail magic. And we got hot coffee, some ham and cheese sandwiches. Well, I had ham and cheese, Bambi had cheese and hummus?
Yes. Cheese
and hummus, which is really appreciated when you're just eating ramen. Having like a sandwich, just bread was great. And here we are, and just gonna keep going. We've been hearing a lot of elk this morning, just lying in bed hearing elk calling to each other, which is a really weird noise. It's kind of quite this high pitch, this I'm not very good at it. And that didn't call any elk over, but it's nice. We haven't seen any elk. We've seen lots of elk footprints yesterday, heard lots of elk, haven't seen any, so I'd like to see an elk. But we're carrying on walking, 25 plus miles today, which should get us into Snoqualmie Pass tomorrow, where we can probably stay the night, shower, wash, eat, and crack on. Yo, we've just managed to get a little bit of signal and found out that Penguin, the Australian kid we crossed the desert with at the start, has finished. He hit the terminus, so well done, buddy. You beat us there by a hell of a long way, so good job, man, good job. Well, wasp sting number 6 on trail. All of them have been since the Sierras. This one is really painful. We are at Tacoma Pass and trail magic. Some awesome trail magic here by not Phil's dad and not Phil. And blueberry pancakes. So
yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Morning. It is raining again. We are about 16 miles from Snoqualmie Pass, where we can get a room, dry everything out and so on. Been drizzling all night. It's lovely. Luckily everything stayed dry in the tent. So I'm filming back on my phone again rather than the camera because I don't want to get the camera wet. So the images aren't as good, but there you go. Last night before we got to camp, we hit one last bit of trail magic, which was awesome. A really cool dude called Iron Husk, who hiked in a previous year, who was doing hot dogs and hot chocolate in the rain, which makes you feel a lot better. I haven't had a good hot chocolate in a long time, so it was lovely. And so we're hiking, I'm wet, Bambi's wet, and minimal views, but nice damp green forest. So there we go. Be in town later on today and hopefully get dry. We are now 90% done, and it is pissing with rain and we are soaked through. This is less fun now, but we're like a few miles from town and a shower and warm stuff. How does that make you feel?
Still cold and wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And down there we have Snoqualmie Pass. Everything is wet. Waterproofs have wet through. We're wet through. My camera's wet. So hopefully hot food and drying stuff.